And just like that, you're a man of many hats, from Frank Ferragini to Frankie Flowers to Frankie Tomatoes. We're talking about Olympic red, tomato red.
Yeah, tomato red. So let's just jump right now, right to some of the bad pictures. So what I'm going to ask right now and downstairs is for them to show a picture of blossom end rot. So I just want to talk about some of the common problems that people have been having when it comes to their tomatoes this season. And don't worry, if you're having an issue like this, where what's happening is the bottom of the tomato is becoming a little bit rotten, many people are having this right across not only the province, but also right across the country. And the reason why they're having the blossom end rot, and that picture, guys, once again, is called blossom end rot. If you can pull that up for me, that'd be great. That's got to do with, number one, calcium in the soil, and number two, the other reason for that, you can see the black. Look at that. You go to pick your tomato.
It looks like a garlic bulb, Frankie. It's so rotted.
Yeah. So the other reason, too, is inconsistent waterings. The other thing that people are having happen right now is what's called tomato cracking. This is a picture, and these are all pictures sent in from viewers. Anytime you can reach out to me. So another picture is the tomato cracking. Look at the tomatoes. You see how the top of those tomatoes are all cracked. So the reason why that happens is, number one, you let your plants dry out, and then all of a sudden you say to yourself, I got to water them, and you give them too much water too fast.
Okay, so are those inedible? Does that affect the taste?
No, those are still edible. You're still fine. So the blossom end rot, those ones there I would discard. The ones with cracks on them, still eat them. But the reason why, too much water, too fast.
Okay, so talk to us about harvesting. When is the time?
So when to harvest. So these are a couple tomatoes. This is a tomato that I pulled out of the garden this morning at 3 a.m., right out of my own garden. So this one here is one that was just, I didn't actually get to staking the plant, so this one here just on the bottom. But you can take a look. Really what you want to do is not harvest at this size, but really when you're starting to harvest, and this is really the perfect time to harvest it right here. So you can see fully red in color versus this one over here, which is a little bit still red to come. The other thing that you're looking for too is you can see not only is it fully red, you see how it's a little bit yellow around the front side. So you can see right at the stem there a little bit yellow. With a tomato, when it's perfect to be harvested or even for you to buy at a store, is when you feel it, it still is firm to touch. It's not
too soft.
So if you take a look at this one right here, which is an overripe tomato, so you can see that one there where you can see a little bit of kind of shriveling, but also when you go to push on it, it's a very soft tomato. So you still want to make sure that they're nice and firm. For those that, where's the best place to store a tomato? We've done this many times.
Yeah, not in the fridge.
Right.
Room temperature.
And it should be in light and or darkness.
Oh, you've taught me this. Light?
No, it should be in dark.
Frank, I failed.
Actually, one of the best places to store a tomato
in a bag
is in a paper bag.
Because the sun ripens it.
Well, the sun actually does no help in terms of helping it ripe, but a lot of the times the sun itself will actually impede flavor, but sometimes make it not last as long.
Okay.
And the key is, too, let's say that you don't have a fully ripe tomato and you want that tomato to become a little bit more ripe. If you take a ripe tomato and put one that's maybe even a little bit more to the tinge of green in the paper bag, a ripe tomato with unripened tomato, that will speed the process of ripening.
Or like a ripened banana?
Yeah,
anything
same thing.
Yeah,
and that's the other thing too. Never put bananas, so if you had ripe bananas and tomatoes together, it'll actually speed the ripening process. So you want to keep those guys separated. So the best place to store a tomato after, first off, harvest a tomato that's fully ripe on the vine. That's the best thing. After you harvest, inside, in your home, out of direct light, but just really on the counter is fine. But if you can put it in a paper bag, perfect. Never put it in a refrigerator. And for those that had those problems like blossom end rot and also had problems like tomato cracking, next year what I really recommend for you to do is to mulch your vegetable gardens, if they are in the ground, with just some clean straw, and that'll actually maintain moisture in the soil level and also adds calcium into the soil.
They're so good for you, and we're going to see so many people in the garages. I know you do it with your family, the jarring and the canning of tomatoes.
And Dominic's coming up.
Yeah, celeb chef Dom is here, and he's going to show you how to use that sugo, as we call it, that sauce, for 5 different dishes so it lasts you all week long, because we want to save time as much as we can when it comes to feeding the family.
You got it. And if you have any tomato troubles, you can always reach me at Twitter at Frank Ferragini.
A lot of people writing in, Winston said, including, where is he? Is he here? Wince, you said a lot of people writing in their family recipes.
Yeah, people have been writing in their family recipes, and we're getting a ton on Twitter, #TomatoTime.
Yeah.
So if you have any, traditions, recipes, whatever, we're getting a bunch, even pictures as well. Councillor Mike Layton sent us one. Send them in, #TomatoTime, and we're going to share some of them in a little bit.
Yeah, and it's so good for you. Kev, over to you in the newsroom. It's been a busy morning.